It's as if the media breaks out in hives at the mere mention of common sense. And Karoline Leavitt is triggering a full-blown allergic reaction. As Trump's press secretary, she's not just fielding questions. She's flipping the script and dismantling tired media narratives with precision. In record time, Karoline has made it clear she's not here to play nice with spin. When reporters lob their predictable talking points, she doesn't blink. Instead, she fires back with sharp, fact-driven responses that leave them stunned. Today, we're diving into her latest mic drop moments. And trust us, from her first fire clapback to the last, you'll be hooked.
Which White House official made the decision to bar the AP reporter from the Oval Office and the diplomatic reception room last night?
Well, first of all, let me just set the record straight. It is a privilege to cover this White House. It's a privilege to be the White House press secretary. And nobody has the right to go into the Oval Office and ask the President of the United States questions. That's an invitation that is given. And there are hundreds of outlets on this campus, many of you in this room who don't have the privilege of being part of that pool every single day and getting to ask the President questions. We reserve the right to decide who gets to go into the Oval Office, and you all have credentials to be here, including the Associated Press, who is in this briefing room today.
The chaos erupted when the Associated Press flat out refused to acknowledge the Gulf of America, stubbornly clinging to the name Gulf of Mexico. Their excuse? It's been called that for over 400 years, and international bodies haven't approved any change. A classic case of independent journalism refusing to budge. But the drama didn't end there. Things escalated fast when a CNN reporter dropped a bombshell question that took the controversy to a whole new level.
I was very upfront in my briefing on day one that if we feel that there are lies being pushed by outlets in this room, we are going to hold those lies accountable. And it is a fact that the body of water off the coast of Louisiana is called the Gulf of America. And I'm not sure why news outlets don't want to call it that, but that is what it is. The Secretary of Interior has made that the official designation in the geographical identification name server, and Apple has recognized that. Google has recognized that. Pretty much every other outlet in this room has recognized that body of water as the Gulf of America, and it's very important to this administration that we get that right, not just for people here at home, but also for the rest of the world.
They refuse because they're not acting as journalists. They're activists with press badges. After the White House revoked their access, the Associated Press's executive editor fired off a dramatic letter to the chief of staff, claiming the move was clearly meant to punish the AP for its reporting and vowing to defend both the First Amendment and the public's right to independent news. Please, that's textbook gaslighting. The public still has access to AP content. Though let's be honest, most people have stopped relying on them due to their increasingly obvious bias. So spare us the martyr routine and maybe consider doing real journalism again. Now, on to the reporter who boldly asked a question without realizing that, yes, crossing the border legally is still a crime under federal law.
3,500 arrests ICE has made so far since President Trump came back into office. Can you just tell us the numbers? How many have a criminal record versus those who are just in the country illegally?
All of them, because they illegally broke our nation's laws and therefore they are criminals as far as this administration goes. I know the last administration didn't see it that way, so it's a big culture shift in our nation to view someone who breaks our immigration laws as a criminal, but that's exactly what they are.
You may have done it more than the worst first. They all have a criminal record.
And welcome to the briefing
If they broke our nation's laws, yes, they are criminal. Yes.
Thank you.
This kind of thinking is exactly why illegal border crossings have plummeted by 90% since Trump returned to office. Just ask the New York Post. But don't hold your breath waiting for the mainstream media to give him or his administration a shred of credit. Funny how things change when you make it crystal clear that illegal crossings won't be tolerated and the law will actually be enforced. What was once a flood quickly becomes a trickle. And it's not just the press feeling the heat. Karoline came out swinging against the left, blasting their over-the-top political theater during the recent anti-dog protests.
And may I just point out, if you heard that type of violent, enticing rhetoric from our side of the aisle, from Republican leaders on Capitol Hill, I think there would be a lot more outrage in this room today. It's unacceptable, the comments that have been made by these Democrat leaders, and frankly, they don't even know what they're talking about. Because President Trump was elected with a mandate from the American people to make this government more efficient. He campaigned across this country with Elon Musk, vowing that Elon was going to head up the Department of Government Efficiency, and the two of them, with a great team around them, were going to look at the receipts of this federal government and ensure it's accountable to American taxpayers. That's all that is happening here, and for Democrat officials to incite violence and encourage Americans to take to the streets is incredibly alarming, and they should be held accountable for that rhetoric.
Exactly, you saw it. The nonstop meltdowns from left-wing lawmakers were something else. But let's be real. If half those comments had come from anyone on the right, there'd be cries for life sentences. Drop a like if you're done with the double standards. What's even weirder, most of them didn't even mention the actual waste. They were too busy obsessing over Elon Musk and Doge. Then came the real bombshell. Karoline called out Politico, and what she exposed left everyone completely stunned.
So upon coming out here to the briefing room, I was made aware of the funding from USAID to media outlets, including Politico, who I know has a seat in this room. And I can confirm that the more than $8 million taxpayer dollars that have gone to essentially subsidizing subscriptions to Politico on the American taxpayers' dime will no longer be happening. The Doge team is working on canceling those payments now. Again, this is a whole of government effort to ensure that we are going line by line when it comes to the federal government's book.
Time to set the record straight. No, Politico didn't directly pocket $8.2 million in government checks, but the money absolutely came in through its high-price pro subscription service, a premium platform for policy coverage and analysis. And while not every dollar came from USAID, the funds were funneled through multiple federal agencies. Politico tried to play it cute, releasing a statement saying, "We have never received any government funding. No subsidies, no grants, no handouts." Technically true, sure. But let's not pretend that taxpayer money isn't still flowing into their accounts. Some reports estimate a single pro subscription can run anywhere from $122 to staggering $15,000 per year. So do the math. How many government employees had to sign up to push that total past $8 million? And to top it all off, Karoline was out there schooling reporters in real time while chaos swirled, shouting drown out the questions, and common sense cut through louder than anything else in the room.
A common sense approach.
The president said he will work on extending the Abraham Accords. Mr. Whitcomb, the president said he wants to...
Yeah, thank you. Can you direct traffic? Yeah, thanks.
Let's act like adults here. They are generously offering their time to answer your questions. You don't need to scream at them like a bunch of school children. Ouija, go ahead.
Thank you very much, Caroline.
Her impact extends far beyond the briefing room. She ended her very first press briefing with perfectly aimed shots at Joe Biden, and it was absolutely electrifying to watch. A bold debut that made her presence instantly unforgettable.
It is a good question, April. So look, the president, as you know, is incredibly accessible. First day here, he wanted all of you in the Oval Office. You got a 60-minute press conference with the leader of the free world while he was simultaneously signing executive orders. I may add that's pretty impressive. I don't think the previous office holder would be able to pull such a thing off. So look, the president is the best spokesperson that this White House has, and I can assure you that you will be hearing from both him and me as much as possible.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how you handle the mainstream media. Now it's your turn. Tell us which moment was your favorite in the comments below. And if you think your friends need to see Karoline's absolute masterclass in action, don't hesitate to share this video with them. Let the truth go viral.